Hey now, everybody. What is up? Thank you for watching. Welcome to your Friday workout. Let's get right into this one. So, what we have on Friday is 4-time, 100 wall balls, and 50 pull-ups. Every minute on the minute, perform 3 clean and jerks. The suggested weight is 135.95. Now, let me say that I understand that there's a lot of people watching these videos and doing these workouts that don't clean and jerk often and probably don't have a barbell at home and don't want to do clean and jerks. And I totally understand that. We'll talk about substitutes for clean and jerks at the end of this video. And that's definitely something that I want everyone to stick around for because it's probably not the substitution that you would think. All right, so let's move on. We're going to break this thing down piece by piece. First of all, let's talk about the wall balls. So wall balls are an exercise that, in my opinion, is very easy to hack, especially when they're in a very tall order, like 100, 150, something like Karen. We've been fans of doing 200 plus in workouts. I think wall balls and thrusters are two exercises that are they're obviously very friendly to CrossFit, but they're one of the few exercises that you're going to see, you're going to have to pull some kind of weight off the floor, receive it in a squat, fully extend, drive the hip, push overhead. It is a great core to extremity exercise. And that's why we use them so much. So as a result, we have a lot of experience playing with wall balls and different sets of wall balls for people that are shorter, taller, et cetera, et cetera. Let me tell you right now, regardless of fitness level, people who are taller are going to have a tremendous advantage when it comes to wall balls, always, and there's zero debate. There can be people that are much fitter that struggle with doing wall balls just because of the height, and it's the same thing for a taller individual doing handstand push-ups. There's really no difference between the two. So in regards to that, there's still a lot of techniques and things that you can do to improve on your wall balls regardless of your height. And I say that because we have a very rich history of coaching a lot of competitive, especially women. So we've seen a lot of women struggle with wall ball workouts over the years. So it's something that, again, we have a lot of experience with, and we like coaching and we like talking about often. So remember, it's 100 wall balls, 50 pull-ups, and a ton of clean and jerks or whatever you're going to sub with. I would not segment this and just look at, well, here's how I'm going to do 100 wall balls. You have to understand the relationship between all the exercises and the whole scope of this workout. And if you take a Karen approach, or if you take a 100 wall balls approach to this workout, you're probably going to burn out pretty damn fast. You might have an okay 50 wall balls time, but you got to remember, man, once that every minute on the minute creeps up, it's going to come up a lot faster than you think. So please don't take that approach to this workout. Take a way more conservative approach than you would for something like 150 wall balls, which is a CrossFit benchmark that we call Karen. Okay. So you can have a similar strategy, but you got to err on the side of being way, 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 way more conservative. Because remember, you're going to have to stop every minute on the minute and do something. Whether they're clean and jerks or the other substitutes we'll talk about, you're going to have to do something. All right. A few more things you can do with your wall balls that I really love are counting your rest. Wall balls are an exercise that when you stop doing, the ball drops right in front of your face, and you are in control of your rest period. You're in control of what your resting position should be. You're in control of the steps you're going to take around the house or around the yard in between your sets. There's not many exercises that we do in CrossFit with such high reps that you can stay in control like that. Wall balls just so happen to be one. So I would recommend that everyone across the board practices with picking a counted rest period after every set of wall balls. Whether that's for your first 3 to 4 breaks, it's 3, 2, 1, go. Or whether it's across the board counting to 10. Whatever you have to do, aim for sustainability and consistency on the wall balls. That's not the time to burn out. That's not the time to close out and go fast. Okay, sustainability, that's what we're looking for. So again, some of the methods are counting your rest period, making sure it's consistent across the board, planning your steps, right? I couldn't tell you how many extra steps or how many extra movements people do in a lot of these competitive workouts. They will do, a set of 10 wall balls, and then they will sit in a squat, or they will bend over in a non-athletic resting position with their chest closed. They will pace around the gym. They'll chalk unnecessarily when they're doing wall balls. I'm looking for you guys to stay in control and don't take unnecessary steps. Don't be in a compromised resting position. Be in an athletic resting position with your torso up and your chest up so you can get oxygen into your lungs. That's the idea. Okay, in regards to height, typically we go 10 feet for men and 9 feet for women. Whatever you guys got to do to make it consistent is what I'm looking for. You don't have to do 10 feet and 9 feet. If doing 10 feet and 9 feet compromises your ability to be consistent, don't do 9 feet and 10 feet. Make it shorter. If you're a G and you're the kind of person who can do Karen Unbroken, do it higher, 12 feet. Try 11-foot target, whatever it is, okay? Don't get too caught up with that. All right, let's move to pull-ups. Pull-ups, I just want to talk about substitutions. If you got a pull-up bar, you have an idea of what you can do. You can do strict pull-ups, you can do jumping pull-ups, you can do kipping pull-ups, you can do butterfly pull-ups, you can do chest to bar pull-ups. Any variation of pull-up is acceptable. What I would prefer to see from people is to do 50 strict pull-ups. I don't care how good you are at CrossFit. I don't care how fast you like to go. I don't care how much of a dose of the open you want to feel. There is no better pulling test than doing 50 pull-ups in a workout like this. So if you have the ability to do the pull-ups strict, do the pull-ups strict. To be quite honest, I would prefer that everyone did them strict before they can kip. In an ideal world, that's what I would love to see people do, but I know not everyone's going to adopt that principle. Now, for folks who either do not have pull-ups or do not have a pull-up bar at home, there's a few substitutions. We've talked about this a few times, but when we program pull-ups, any upper back engaging pulling exercise is acceptable. Even if I had to invert myself in this hollowed out position and I had to, and I got a bar or some kind of stick or a thick PVC pipe and I pulled my chest up in this position, I could grab a band and do face pulls. Any kind of upper back pulling exercise is acceptable. Now, if you're going to do something like a face pull, if you're going to do something that you can crank a ton of reps out of, I would recommend upping those reps, okay? Those 50 pull-ups will probably take some people anywhere from 1.5 minutes to 3 minutes. So plan on spending about that amount of time on the pull-ups, okay? All right, so let's move on to the last piece, the clean and jerk. So in the main site version of this workout, I want people to do 3 clean and jerks every minute of the minute at 135 for men and 95 for women. If you don't have a bar or you don't want to do clean and jerks or you haven't been coached ever on how to do a clean and jerk, it's not time to start with that now. Now, if you got a dumbbell at home or if you got a kettlebell, the typical scale or option you would see would be a dumbbell clean and jerk or a kettlebell swing or some kind of pulling to overhead movement. That's not what we have programmed. What I have for you guys is 6 weighted box-facing step overs, okay? Now, you're meant to do those 6 really fast in about 20 seconds if you can, or less, especially to start out with. The reason I want you guys to do that work, that movement is because it's going to load the quads tremendously. The relationship between wall balls and going into a weighted box step over is going to be more similar to the clean and jerks, especially for the people doing the clean and jerks towards the end of the 100. Way more similar than if you did a 15-pound dumbbell clean and press, okay? So I am looking for some kind of heavy quad frontal loading exercise. That's why we picked that movement, the 6 weighted box facing step overs. Now, if 6 is too many and they're taking you too long, I would prefer that you change those reps before you change the weight. Do it with something challenging. Another acceptable substitution for that would be something like a heavy bag clean. So if you got like a real heavy sandbag, I'm not talking about a 20-pound rec bag or, something like that. I'm talking about like a heavy sandbag or D-ball or heavy weighted ball bag of any variety. That would be acceptable as well. All right, in the flow version, we got a very simple burner, 150 air squats, 100 sit-ups, and every minute, 3 reverse burpees. Okay, now I understand it's a completely different workout in nature, but believe it or not, it is a comparable stimulus to the other 2 versions that are people following the program will be doing today as well. Your time will be totally different. However, it's going to target similar muscle groups and it's going to feel similar at the end. Okay. That's all I got for today. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please post your times. I appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving. Very good week, and we'll see you next week. Peace.